Fanaticism as a manifestation of primitive instincts and natural opportunism. Yes, it sounds like a joke, but it is not. Dogmatism, which accompanies fanatics, borders on irrational radicalism. Fanaticism is not based on facts or coherent arguments, but is fed by the most primitive emotions. Proto-beings, as we can call them, react to stimuli emitted by their leader in an almost biological way, as if they were guided by pheromones or infrasounds. This mobilization does not follow rational logic, but responds to a deep instinct that is already embedded in their nature. Trying to argue with them is useless, because they do not respond to reason or dialogue. Instead, they behave like species from a zoological genus, observed from a distance. The real problem, however, appears when these fanatics try to get out of this symbolic aquarium, wanting to devour and destroy everything around them. These are the moments when we must remain alert, because the risks they represent are real and can destabilize society. The opportunistic nature of fanaticism. What I want to argue here is not just that fanaticism is an emotional or psychological issue, but that it is a survival strategy for certain groups of individuals. These beings act opportunistically, similar to how certain species in the animal kingdom take advantage of the weaknesses or achievements of others for their own benefit. Just as hyenas wait patiently for a lion to kill and then steal its prey, these proto-series wait for the right moment to take advantage of the structure and resource that another has built. This opportunism can also be compared to the behavior of parasites or viruses. Parasites live at the expense of a host, regardless of the consequences this may have for the organism that feeds them. Viruses invade a body, replicate, and in many cases destroy it in the process. Similarly, fanaticism does not seek to create or improve anything. Its only motivation is to survive and expand, even if that means destroying everything in its path. The eternal cycle of combat. The key here is not to try to change the nature of these beings. Just as we cannot modify the behavior of a hyena or a virus, we cannot change these fanatics either. Their behavior is part of nature itself, and what we have left is to confront it constantly to prevent their destructive expansion from destroying what we have built. This is an eternal cycle. These beings will always be there, waiting for the moment to attack, and we will always have to be ready to contain them. However, this cycle should not be seen as something negative. Just as in nature, where balance is maintained through competition and adaptation, in human society this confrontation forces us to evolve, and to be more aware of the threats we face. It is not about exterminating these beings, but about understanding their role within this natural cycle, and being prepared to limit their expansion when necessary. Fanaticism, in its most radical form, is a reflection of primitive instincts that reside in certain individuals, and their behavior is no different from that of opportunistic species in the animal kingdom. Like hyenas, parasites, or viruses, these beings seek to take advantage of what others have managed to build, without any interest in preserving or improving the environment. We cannot change their nature, but we can learn to confront them and contain their destructive influence. At Bunker Ideologico, we do not intend to change an immutable reality, but to understand it. To understand that these behaviors are part of nature itself, and that our task is to constantly combat them to prevent their expansion. Because in the end, this cycle of struggle is part of our existence, an eternal challenge that we must face to preserve what we value.